No, don't do that. That's...
Dog drinking poison.
Oh God.
No animals were harmed in making of this video. What do we got here, Wayne?
All right, Sandy. This.
I'm no stranger to this car, by the way.
Right. So part of the fun, if you can call it that, of doing all these videos is kind of reacquainting myself with the cars in the collection. Some of them don't always get attention as much as they should when new kids. Freudian slip. New cars come along. So this one is a great car. I keep saying that. I'm like a broken record. This is a really great car. This is a great car. This is a great car. We gotta go rent some crappy cars just so that we can like.
This isn't a great car. This is a purpose-built race tribute car,
which makes it a great car.
Well, I didn't want to say that because we're
Yeah. So the other video is probably out by now, but the blue 914 that I had that was stolen and then recovered. In the meantime, I took the insurance money and I said, okay, I need a replacement 914 because can't be 914-less. That's like not allowed.
914 6-less.
914 6-less. Yeah, so we bought this one because the guy who built it was bugging me to buy it. I'm like, I don't need two 914s, even though every 914 owner has at least two 914 monthly parts. So it's a running joke, and it's not actually a joke. It's more like 50% of 914 owners own more than one. So let's talk about this car.
So how did you get it?
I bought it.
Well, obviously, but this guy's trying to sell it to you. But what was, this is something that's kind of not anything like you have.
Right. So the guy's name is Tom Woodford. He's also the guy who built the green car, and he also built the blue 914 as well. Or finished it up for me. I think I mentioned it at the
He's
last
like your
video.
custom builder for you.
Yeah. I'm one of his customers. But he did this this was his own personal car. So he built. So here's the story. As I one, remember it, and B, remember it as being told to me. So probably only moderately accurate. Anyway, so there was supposedly some guy, rich Jamaican guy or whatever in the 1980s, early 90s, something like that, that wanted to do a set of race series in Jamaica.
Bob Marley?
Using 914s? I don't think so. Let's say cousin Bob. Cousin of Bob.
Bob's cousin.
Bob's cousin, right? So anyway, so my guy used to own a building company in New Jersey called Carranza Racing. I had the license plate on that. It's a sticker on one of these cars here. So anyway, so Carranza Racing, he built supposedly two cars for this series as an initial one, and as an initial foray. Supposedly the agreement was for three cars, but the two cars were built. The story was one is wrecked, and the other one got driven into the ocean. I don't know, but I haven't seen any pictures of these two cars or heard anything about them other than just the story. So this one was supposedly the third in the series, and was built primarily as a tribute to the other two for the third one that never quite existed. Blah 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 blah. I don't know. It's a convoluted story, but basically this particular car was built for the 1998 Porsche 50th anniversary at Monterey. That's where it had its debut. And the car went through a lot of iterations. It started out as just kind of a 914 with some crazy paint, this and that. And it's just something that the builder, Tom Woodford, modified and customized. And it was his hobby project in between everything else for years and years and years and years. So that's the background on the car. And then Tom, was getting older and said couldn't really get into it, didn't drive it much, it was in a container. He's like, you should buy my car. You should buy my car. And then mine got stolen, and I ended up buying his car.
The end.
The end. That's the first time in this video series we've said that. That's your catchphrase. We haven't used your catchphrase. Catchphrase is the end. Mine's next.
We don't often come to the end.
The end.
In any of our discussions, unless it's via editing.
Yeah.
So generally, you won't hear that. But
so I got more stories. But what do you like and what don't you like? I mean, there's so much to see.
I love that
it's thing.
I love that it's kind of rough. It's not.
It's awesomely.
It's
rough.
a race car.
Yes.
If you looked at it, it's a race car. The end. And
2.8 RSR twin plug motor built on an early aluminum 911 case. The serial number is written on the inside.
And
here.
what were your options? You've said that a couple of times. Aluminum case. What's the option? Magnesium and what's that stuff? Adamantium.
Magnesium and marshmallows. That's the two choices.
You know, I'm thinking like cast iron Porsche case. I would think the magnesium would be better because it's lighter, but it's probably not as strong.
Falls apart, yeah. Even the 962s that generated 900 horsepower, they were all aluminum too. You're a big shovel fan, right?
I love that it's a shovel, but they bolted it on, so there's no way that you could ever get it off.
There's a toolkit in the trunk.
I guess we'd have to pull an impact out to get it off. But I like the trim he did, like the Porsche decal on a weird looking gas tank.
Is that what this is? Is it kink? Yeah,
it's red,
it is.
And
the leather straps and all that.
That sucker's leaking all over you if it's got gas in it. There's no duct tape at least, but it's just metal on metal. Eventually, something's gonna go.
So Tom and I used to hang out all the time at the Pomona swap meet. So I think almost everything here was bought, in pieces over 20 years. Various things from Pomona here and there. He saw something interesting, he put it and bolted it on the car and just made it better and better and better and better and better.
But it still looks, it doesn't look like a hodgepodge of race stuff. It looks like it was a car that would be in a rally.
Yeah, no, it's good.
He's got the Space Saver spare, which is weird enough as it is.
Yeah.
You don't see any of those
Two
things
of them.
surviving.
I think there's one in the front trunk too.
Yeah.
No, there's one in the top and there's one in the back trunk, yeah.
Like all the stickers, so like I said, I immediately knew when you showed me the car when I first saw it.
Yes.
Hauls ass.
Right, because it's got
lots
of stickers and a fair bunch of yellow ones on
windshield.
The windshield. I know you taught me that secret.
I didn't teach you. I just people don't know. It's in front of their face. They just don't know.
By the way, just as a small aside, we posted that video where we make fun of cars with stickers on it, and we got 10 people with downvotes. Because they think we're serious.
People are.
I had to write in there. I'm like, guys, this is a joke video. It's not. We don't actually believe that stickers add performance. So I'm like, oh, is this today's youth?
Did a guy complain about the JDM factor?
Oh no, he didn't complain about that. But no,
I think it's the paste principle hard at work. And we'll explain that later.
It's like the people type in the comments. The humor is a little too. So we're kidding about the stickers.
Yeah.
I have to say it now.
I guess you have to spell it out for
joke.
those.
It's very funny for people who instantly.
Or we're not.
Or we're not.
There you go.
Maybe we're not. Yeah.
Maybe we're not.
Are we joking or are we not?
Yeah, it's hard to tell sometimes. But just the trim and stuff. I love the old school looking stickers and the racing decals. My favorite one's in the back, the big ballpoint pen guy.
Yep.
Just, inside the car, it's all business. There's some weird, rally clocks and other things, which I have no idea how to work because I'm not a rally person.
Yeah, no, it's everything on the thing is kind of real too. The horns, it's got multiple horns with multiple buttons for rally drivers. All that works.
Fuel cell in the front.
Fuel cell in the front. What has it got? 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 headlamps on the front.
And that's that 40 amp Bosch alternator run them all like a champ, I'm sure.
Yep. No, I think it's got an upgraded alternator on it too. But you gotta put these stickers on the front because you can't run all this stuff in California. Otherwise, they give you a big ticket.
It's a neat little car, and the thing that makes it crazy is the motor.
Yeah, the motor's awesome.
Out of it, you could throw me in a lot of crappy cars. If the motor's great, that makes all the difference in the world. This thing has a fantastic motor.
That was not what?
That's not me.
No. Look at that. Isn't that neat? So it's a poster that the guy who was Tom Whitford made. He's the guy who built the cars. He got a speeding ticket from the CHP, but the guy actually loved the car. And he said, "Can I get a photo of you? Give me the ticket." So there's the ticket. There's the car. CHP Downs Red Stripe. So he made a sticker out. I made a poster out and sold them at Pomona or whatever, for like $5 or whatever. But that's a pretty cool.
I haven't think framed yet.
Yeah, you can see he put all his luggage on the stuff and all that. Yeah, I got a lot of stuff that's not framed, but I thought that was pretty neat.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. Anyway, back to.
Yeah, in driving back from Mammoth, being ticketed over the years only a few times, I figured this is going to be the one that they get me on.
No, because you're well aware. For me, when I'm going to get a speeding ticket, it's when I'm in like a truck and I'm just not paying attention. With something like this, you're like, you're looking around for the cops everywhere. You're like on patrol.
He would have felt sorry for me because it was freaking cold.
Yeah. Well, what is that? Yeah, that was the story. So, I bought the car up in Nevada and drove it back in the cold, and it was at Mammoth. And then you're like, yeah. I'd love to drive it back for you because I want to get the hell out of Mammoth.
Yeah, I was in Mammoth. I hate the snow.
Yeah.
And it was like, man, I've been up here for already going cabin crazy.
Yeah.
So it's like, you want me to take this back? I'm happy to drive it back right now.
So driving the car to go give it to you. I don't remember this.
You coming down? I think you said you were coming down the hill, had a loop-de-loop.
Not even Lake Mary Road, very small hill, and I don't know. This has never happened to me before. I did what's called a 720, which is 2 spins.
That's a technical
thing. 914s have a low polar moment of inertia. Or high polar, I can't remember.
Lost it.
It's all in the center here. So when you can drive them on the road, and it gives you almost a false sense of security because these people drive 914s really, really, really hard, and then once they let go, boom, they start spinning like a top. They won't like give you a warning. They'll just let go instantly. So this thing, I'm like on the road, and I didn't even do anything. It spun like this, and I spun all the way around in a circle, and then I kept going. I spun all the way around in a circle again. I had my friend behind me driving because I was gonna give you the car and take it back. And he pulls up beside me at the light. He's like, man, that was awesome. Did you intend to do that? And I'm like, no.
Coffee, steamy coffee, all spilled all over you.
No, he's like, how did you do that? I'm like, I don't know. I
don't want to do it again.
To this day, I don't even really, I have to think back as to whether it actually existed, but I had a witness. So anyway, car is loud as hell. Not on the outside, but on the inside. There's no sound insulation, no nothing. So we had to put David Clark headsets in. These are the same headsets that you use in small airplanes and helicopters.
The tank.
Or the tank, yeah. And they're great. They're really expensive. You buy them new, like $700, $800, $600, because they're used on aerospace stuff. But on eBay, you can buy used ones that are, I guess, decommissioned or no longer
not
used
FAA
on Cessnas.
certified.
Yeah, I don't know, whatever. So you buy them for $100 or $200. So for a while, I was buying all the ones I could find because I have so many loud cars. I needed like 4 for the tank because we can have 4 people in there, and then I need 2 for here, and I got another 2 for the Probe 16 we're going to be putting in, and then I think that's
great for the fire truck too. That'd be the best place for them.
Yeah, the fire truck's not loud.
But look good.
Yeah, maybe. It just doesn't fit. The fire truck's a 59. So you gotta get 59 equipment. I'm looking for a real distracting change of topic. I'm looking for a real CB radio for that thing.
eBay, dime a dozen.
Yeah, I know, but it's gotta just look right.
Old Motorola microphone.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's gotta be the right year. 1959. It's on my list. As with our
Motrack, that's what you're looking for.
Yeah. So anyway, we got a really neat trunk in this thing with lots of cool artifacts and equipment on this. But the car looks insane and it delivers too. So some cars look insane and they have nothing.
Yeah, it's got a 4-cylinder.
Yeah, it's no.
By the way, if you pulled up with this and had a 4-cylinder, I'd probably been staying 4 or 5 more days in Mammoth. Freezing, they're walking around disgruntled.
Well,
no TV.
You can punch the 4 cylinders out and get some horsepower, but this thing is just a monster. 2.8 twin plug RSR motor with the Weber 46s on it. So I do make mistakes. So these things were all clogged up because the thing sat during COVID. No one was driving or doing anything and all that. So I took the carbs off and I put them in this Por 15 cleaner.
Yeah, acid basically.
Yeah, and I came back 6 hours later, and the carbs had completely dissolved. I'll get you a photo of that too. So, and I was like, it's $3,000 a set of PMOs, and I started trying to see if I could sand. No.
That crappy aluminum zinc stuff.
So there's no warning on the side of the can, and I was just stupid for not trying.
Well, it says
something else.
rust remover.
No, it's a different. It's not. It's a different type of. Well, it was. I forget exactly what it was, but it was just a lesson to be learned. Don't put your carbs in. I've never had that problem before. I've used a whole bunch of different stuff. I thought this stuff was pretty good, and it didn't turn out to be that good. So
yeah, $3,000 later, you're back in business.
Oh yeah, I had to buy a new set of carbs. But in a positive note, the PMO carbs, which are still a great carb, bothered me that it was on this car because they're not really correct for something like this. You got to have a set of genuine Webers. And I always thought maybe I'd put a set of genuine Webers on to kind of make it more correct because the PMOs looked, odd, but they ran like stink and it worked really well. And it's all I was pissed off, that they didn't, that I destroyed my own set of carbs. But now it's got the Webers on it, and well, they don't run that great anyway, but they need to be clean.
Well,
anyway, so it looks better.
Another opportunity for you to shove your O2 sensor up its butt.
Oh, that, yes.
And then go to town tuning.
I think I rejetted it the same as the PMOs had it. So, and I think I already did that on this. I put the new carburetors on and rejetted it, and it ran really, really well. And then it sat for a few months without running, and now it's all clogged because we live in California and the gas is just terrible, just crappy. Little details I like about the gauges with the little stickers, with the dynamo label crap that we've seen that they use on the race cars too. The steering wheel on this is a Stefan Beloff steering wheel or something along those lines.
It's not bad. It's not my favorite, but it's not bad.
No, it's period from like the 80s. It's just got these seats with the Hess oil.
That's from like frickin' like Pennsylvania or Texas.
No, it's from New York, and from the East Coast. We used to have Hess gas stations in New York when I grew up. It's got a whole bunch of the stopwatches and rally gear, and it's got
a lot of buttons.
Hulda Speed Pilot on that, et cetera, et cetera. It's got 7 switches for the lights in the front. It's got twin plug ignition and all that in here, and it's one problem we had with this thing. It didn't have a back window, and driving. You remember probably driving back from there with the exhaust. Somehow comes out.
When you're going slow, it would come back in.
It comes back in, and I took Aerodynamics at MIT, physics and fluid flow, and man, there's one thing I learned is that those wind tunnels, they have them for a reason because sometimes you just can't predict where stuff is going to flow. And this kept coming back here, so I thought it was the window. So I sealed up the window. I'm like, it's going to fix the problem. No, didn't work at all. Then I thought it was the door, so we put plastic on the door. Now, somehow the exhaust is just getting into the car. It didn't during our drive today, and it might be the muffler. The guy who built the car, Tom, said he didn't quite start having that problem until he put the stuff on the roof. So the laminar flow comes over here, hits the wheel, comes back here, creates an eddy, comes back, and then sucks it back in. There's lots of weird things going on in aerodynamics with cars, so I don't know. So we've tried a few things, and sometimes it works, and sometimes... That's why I have the blue tape here. I thought it was being sucked in through here, because you create a vacuum, it'll be sucked in, so the engine... Anyway, something we're still working on. Although
if you drive fast enough, it doesn't matter.
Today was fine.
Yeah.
So you didn't like Tommy's lug nuts. What about my lug nuts?
I don't mind these.
You don't mind these?
No, because they're not covering the whole thread of the bolt like a tuner lug nut.
Yeah, that was a tuner lug nut.
Yeah, these things are,
Yep. So on the blue car that we talked about before, we had steel metal flares that were butt welded in. These are rolled. I don't know if you noticed that. So they're not... Yeah, you get a big baseball bat, where they actually have professional rolling tool.
I did that on my Mustang.
Yeah.
So he goes, you use a baseball bat. I'm going, well, that's going to leave a lot of damage when I'm thinking like smash it.
No, you roll.
And then they go, no, dumbass. This was like 20 years ago.
Right.
So I got a friend, and we put a wood baseball bat and rolled the fenders.
Yeah. They also make a professional tool to do that.
Yeah.
And the tool's actually not that expensive, a couple $100.
It don't work that good, though.
It's probably worth it if you get a better, baseball. I've never done it because it seems like something that,
my baseball
me
bat.
Wrapping the wheels on my 959 that I could try and screw it up. But
it was the problem was the back of the car was double lipped, so it was really hard.
Really hard, yeah.
But it definitely made a difference.
Yeah.
It wasn't pretty. Bottom line is go to a body shop.
So the 914, the blue one, which has got, I think, turbo wheels on it, really wide in the back. It's got a ton of grip. It just goes like stink. You can feel it. It's more truck-like than this.
It's got a bit.
This is more nimble because it's a little narrower.
That feels like it's also got a little bit more. It's like more torquey of a motor, bigger motor.
Yeah, this has got high revving.
I still think this thing will take it.
S-cam motor, high revving, all that. Yeah.
I think we take it in this.
The two different.
If we got rid of the shovel, lightened it up a little bit.
That one's like a bread knife. This one's like a steak knife. Very sharp, good for different purposes or whatever. But yeah.
Yeah.
So, no. Anyway.
We should probably get this thing out for a roll.
Yes, we should. All right. Let's see if it starts.
A few moments later.
I'm going to make this bold statement. Now, this car handles better than the 959.
People who own the 914 before, I mean, those are cool cars in themselves. Once you put a 6 into it, it gets a different personality. Like it's been possessed by the devil. It's just crazy. And the engine right there, it's literally 2 inches from my finger. And you can hear it, and you can feel it, and you can smell it. And this is just a great car. It is a great car. I did have one car that I did sell recently. Well, not recently, but the last one. It was a 996, and I just never drove it. It just wasn't. Didn't have the soul of Porsche. Didn't have the sound. So I could get some haters for this, but not a huge fan of the 993. It's okay. It's a very refined, polished car. But whoops, it doesn't sound. Whoops, it doesn't sound right. It doesn't feel right. It's just it's good. It's alright. And this thing flies. And it sounds like it flies. And it actually sounds like it's going faster than it really is.
Well, that's kind of the nice thing about the old cars. They provide that speed sensation that allows me.
Yeah, now that's going to be missed when we all go to all electric, right?
Well, you know, that's the plan of California.
Alright. This one's a little more difficult to get out of. Alright, there we go. What do you think?
I like this car.
It's a neat car.
It sounds good too. It's got that great Porsche sound.
Yeah.
It winds up nice even though we're running on 5 instead of 6.
Yep. I got to fix that very soon. But yeah, this is what 914s really should be at the end of the day.
It's got a shovel in case we have to dig ourselves out of a ditch or something. Yeah. This car's great. Like I said, I drove this, 375 back from Mammoth.
Yep.
And it didn't miss a beat. Put gas in it every time I saw a gas station because I was paranoid I was going to run out of gas because they didn't have the fuel gauge working.
Nope. And why were you driving it back from Mammoth again?
Because I didn't want to stay in Mammoth because I hate Mammoth.
Yeah.
And it was snowing.
And your family was annoying you.
It was.
And you're like, I'm not sure I'm going to get this car back. And you're like, I'll drive it back in 40-degree weather with no broken gas with a broken gas gauge. And
out of there.
I'm there. I'm really there. I'll do it. Any, just give me the keys and I'm there. I'm like, really? I'm like, dude, it has no windows and we're in the snow. No problem. No problem.
Jacket and thermal. I think I stopped at. the Kmart when it was still open and bought thermal underwear.
Really?
Yeah.
No way. Seriously?
Yeah, because I didn't have any thermal underwear. It was freaking freezing.
Yeah, this is not a car to drive in the snow.
But what do they use a shovel for? Digging out sand?
That's for poop, I guess.
I guess big dog poop or something.
Yeah.
But it was fun to drive, and it was just open highway. I probably shifted 5 times when I got home to get off the freeway into the driveway, but it was just basically just let it ride, and You know, it was smooth. There's no, you know, like some cars like sketchy or wobbly or something. You just, you know, it was just humming along. And other than a ringing earache for a couple of days.
Yes, it's a very loud car. You guys couldn't see they have the headsets in there.
Yeah, but even with the headsets on, it's still loud. But do that for, you know, 7 hours, 6 hours. It can get to you. But still, worth every...
Awesome car.
Yeah, worth
It is
every...
an awesome car. And it's so unusual. And it's a lot of fun. And nobody takes you seriously in this thing. And you wouldn't want to either.
They don't know that if it's real or not, or what the story is. The only thing that I know that you got to get rid of is the for sale sign.
Well, it's for a real 914. It's a for real 2.8 RSR motor, and there you go.
The motor winds up like freaking
yeah, no, it's
beautifully.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, next.